We want to bring in New Jersey Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew for more on this. It was interesting, Congressman, to see once again Joe Manchin kind of standing his ground on all of this. I mentioned, for those who don't know, I mean, many do, that you're a former Democrat, somebody who switched parties. I think your perspective would be an interesting one, just observing what's happening in this intra-party fight on the Democratic side. What do you make of the role Joe Manchin's been playing there in D.C.?
Well, obviously, he's been playing a very serious and important role. And just quite frankly, he's right. Biden and the majority in Congress are wrong. I mean, we just can't keep spending the way we're spending. We have to slow down. There's a couple of issues here. One of them is obviously slowing down spending. Second, because of inflation. And then secondly, you know, I certainly am concerned about the environment. We all are. But some of the legislation that they have just puts trillions of dollars into different programs that we really don't know are going to work or not work. We're pushing too hard, too fast. We're still going to rely on fossil energy for all, fossil fuel, and we have to realize that. We've just got to calm down, but most of all, we've got to stop spending and then fix all the other problems they have. I mean, I think what Joe Manchin would think, I can't speak for him, but being that he seems to be more moderate, is, hey, how about what are we going to do to make the border better? What are we going to do to make the supply chain better? What are we going to do to make our cities safer? What are we going to do to make sure that our military is better? What are you going to do to make sure that in the military we're not spending all the money on woke kind of crazy stuff, but on the things that we really need to do and the things we really need to have? So I think he's correct. I would certainly side with him on this issue, and definitely not with the president, and definitely not with the majority in Congress.
No, I know you and others have said that this is on the ballot in the midterm elections, this being inflation, that this is going to be one of the big issues that people vote on. So the Republicans, you may get your chance to govern on this issue, at least in terms of, having control of the Congress if you have a strong midterm election. Now, to be fair, people would look back when the Republicans were in power and say they didn't exactly, in recent history at least, cut spending either. But you're saying this time would be different, that there would be a real push to cut spending in Washington?
First of all, yes. But second of all, and importantly, there wouldn't be just the crazy kind of spending that exists now with this administration, trillions upon trillions of dollars. A lot of the inflation problem and all the problems we have has to do also with many different issues. Obviously, our energy issue and what we're doing there, which is so wrong. We should be number one and could be number one, and we were number one in the world. And then secondly, the way we dealt with COVID. We didn't work with businesses enough. We didn't work with people in certain ways enough. So we just closed everything down. You close everything down, you're not going to have production. When you don't have production, you don't have stuff that people need. And when that happens, you have too many dollars chasing too few goods and services. So this whole thing, quite frankly, is the Democrats' fault from beginning to end. It's not Putin's fault. It's not the Republicans' fault. It's not some other people that he's named out there every day. It's somebody different. Sometimes when you're an elected official, whether a congressman, a senator, or a president, you have to stand up, tell the truth, take the heat. Take the heat,
or at least some of the heat, or at least, talk about it being a bunch of different factors and not try to oversimplify it, I guess. Jeff Van Drew, thank you, the congressman from New Jersey, Republican. Thank you for taking the time today. We appreciate that.
To be here. Thank you.